Hello, and welcome to Steph Udall. I am, obviously, Steph, and today's a little bit different. I had to shuffle my schedule around a little bit, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little cheeky Rainbow High unboxing and Q&A. So I put up a poll in my community tab to ask which of the 2 inbox Rainbow High dolls you wanted me to unbox. And I was very not surprised when Delilah won over Margot. I also have a handful of questions from both my YouTube community tab and also from my Instagram stories. So I'll be throwing those in. I do get very rambly, and I don't know how much of it I'm going to edit. So we'll see how that goes, because I do meander, I do ramble, I do trip up on my words and stumble and mumble, but we get there in the end. So hopefully it's enjoyable for you. If not, I will be back next week with a new repaint, which will be, of course, much more tightly edited than this will be. This is just a much more casual stream of consciousness hangout kind of thing. And if you like this, let me know. Maybe I'll consider doing a stream or something in the future. I don't know. Without much further ado, here is me again, I guess. Have fun. Alrighty, so you can see we have a bit of a different setup today. As I said, we're going to be doing a little unboxing, a little Q&A, and we'll see how that goes. I apologize for any glare right now. That'll go away once we get rid of the plastic, but we've got Delilah Fields here, who you all voted on for me to open. So that's what we'll be doing today. This is going to be a bit rambly because I'm just recording audio as I'm unboxing. So there's going to be a lot of ums. There's going to be a lot of uhs. I might edit some stuff out. I might not. So we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Q&A, let's get the first one pulled up on my phone, and then I'll start unboxing. I took screen caps of everything. So let's go. I'm probably not going to be able to answer all of them this time, just because unboxing won't take incredibly long, but yeah. I'm gonna start with a couple questions from Instagram from the beta stage, because they asked very similar but different questions. One of them was, what was the most satisfying part of doll customizing, and what is your favorite part? Well, the most satisfying part is, of course, I knew I was going to have a problem doing 2 things at once. The most satisfying is cleaning the dolls, I think. Especially when they have gluey hair. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I actually do. Weirdly enough, I find it way more satisfying when there's glue in the hair than when there isn't. It's just one of those, like, you know, hashtag only sad. Yeah. You know, it's just like oddly satisfying. Watch me slice myself open yet again while I do this. Maybe I shouldn't talk while I have a sharp knife in my hand. But yeah, the cleaning up, the getting the gunk out, the hair out, the face off, like, that is by far, I think, one of the most satisfying things about customizing, is just cleaning up a doll and getting a blank canvas to work with. Is there more tape over here? There we go. All right. My favorite part. Oh, there we go. Oh, Miss Delilah.
my favorite part is probably that moment when everything starts to come together. Sometimes that's during the face up, which is I do think one of the most fun parts, but it's it's like my least fun part to edit. um, but it is a lot of fun. But I think the most fun part is when like you've been working on a project for a really long time and it just you start to see it actually come together and look really good. And that's so it's not, this is why I write scripts. Because otherwise I'm all rambly like this and I stutter and I stumble over my words a lot. I edit out so much audio you folks don't even know. Um, but yeah, that's that's my favorite part. But if I had to say like a specific step, rather than being like a vague time, probably the face up. Sometimes, I guess it depends on the doll because sometimes it's sewing, sometimes it's the face up, sometimes it's doing the hair just because it's repetitive and soothing. Ooh. Haha. Box one. Come on. Ooh, there we go. Box two. Extra bits. Okay, cool. Ooh, her stand. I mean, they're all glittery, aren't they? I just haven't been paying attention, but this one just looks extra glittery for some reason. Look at that, it's so pretty. Again, I do apologize that I'm probably going to be rambling like crazy. I never know which way these go. Like, it must be this way. And then that slides in there. We'll put that to the side. So, next question. How did I get into doll customizing? That one is actually pretty interesting. Like I actually the first sort of custom dolls that I'd ever seen were actually My Little Ponies. And this was like in the I want to say mid 2000s. And I thought that was really cool. I'd see that on DeviantArt back in the day. I think I had an account, but I didn't really post anything on there. I was more LiveJournal, Tumblr person. But I browse on there and look at all of everyone else's cool art, And that was neat. And so at some point I did customize a My Little Pony. This is Lost to Time. It was again mid 2000s for a friend. Because she had a webcomic and I wanted to make a present for her. And we both love My Little Pony and stuff like that too. So it was so simple. All I did was find a pony that was like the right colors, take off the cutie mark, make a new one that was very simple, and that was it. And I still like would look at them from time to time and see what everybody was doing in that community. Although I never super got into it myself. How do I open you, box? How do I... I know there's a way. There's a way. Is there tape? There's tape. Of course there's tape. There's always tape. Anyway, continuing on. Told you there'd be a lot of ums. Over time, I'd see I just look at them every once in a while. And then, Monster High started showing up in stores. And at first I wasn't sure about them. I thought they were like, overly skinny or whatever. I thought they were weird. But then I like really fell in love with them. And I look at them every time we went to a toy store, because we like to go to toy stores for fun, because we are grown adults. But both me and my partner, we like video games, we like Legos, we like toys. We just refuse to grow up staunchly, and I think that's a good way to go. So I would go and I would stare at these Monster High dolls, and then the Ever After High dolls, because I love fairy tales. Like, I love horror movies and I love fairy tales. It was like, I wish I had these dolls when I was a child. But of course I did not. But I never bought any. Which, like, I kick myself constantly for never buying any at the time. I guess I did get a couple, like, when it was still going, but through eBay, like, used ones. I got later on, I still have like a Coffin Bean Frankie and a Coffin Bean Abby, because I love coffee. And I thought that was really cute. But that was after I had started noticing people customizing them on, you guessed it, DeviantArt, Tumblr. And one in particular that really caught my eye was someone had customized a Rebecca Steam, and had rooted her basically with copper wire, and had molded it into this sort of, like, to use Delilah as a base, this sort of like intricate like side bun. And it was amazing looking, and I have no idea who that was. If you happen to know, this would have been like at least 7 years ago now, probably. Probably longer than that. Maybe even 10. If you know that, if you've seen it, let me know, because I'd love to see it again. I think someone else was doing like the face up, but they had done the rerouting, as it were, with the wire. And then I started finding people on YouTube. But I can't remember who was active then. I think Delightful was like just starting or something, and at least with the videos. I think Nicole's Dreams was going. Yeah, I can't quite remember everyone I used to watch, because some of them aren't posting anymore or have moved on to other things. So I picked up supplies like back in like 2015. I got a doll lot with basically custom bait, like someone who's getting rid of their dolls that they were doing, they were going to use for customs. So some of them were already prepped. Like, I had an already prepped Draculaura, a face wiped Abby, which I still have in my stock box, and like another Draculaura, like, that I have used. So yeah, I had this. I got some hair from My Little Custom, I want to say. It's been a while. I haven't shopped with them in a while, but they're still around. And I got some nylon hair and a rerouting tool, and I watched some tutorials, and I tried doing it, and it was just super hard. Like, I just couldn't I couldn't do it at the time. I couldn't figure it out, and that's partially why I've stayed away from like using rerouting tools for a really long time. Despite that being like a quicker and easier quote unquote method, because I had that difficult time with it to begin with. So I did the sewing method instead, which I learned from, I think, My Little Custom again. I think they had some video tutorials. It was either that or Doll Hair Emporium when they were Retro Dolls UK. It's one of those two. But I know the original hair I got was from My Little Custom, and it was sugarberry, and I used it on a doll later. Because despite the fact that I didn't customize back then, I held on to all of my supplies. So what was happening? The reason why I couldn't concentrate is that I was at an office job, which was just a horrible office job. I was living in England at the time and just doing my best. Pardon me. And it was draining. At this time, like, I didn't know I was autistic. And it explains so much now because essentially, like, every last scrap of my energy went into doing my job. Like, went into socializing and having to deal with people and the communication issues that ensue when I already have problems with communication. And processing and everything. And, you know, being in an open plan office, sensory issues, which I didn't understand. And I get migraines. I think that's when I started getting migraines. They got worse later, but like, it was just really bad. That's a whole kettle of worms I could go into, and I won't. But anyway, suffice it to say, I didn't get into customizing because I just did not have the energy. I barely had the energy to draw after work, and it's like I knew I had to draw to try and do anything else. Like to if I wanted to get a career or to become popular as an artist, get my work out there, I had to basically pull double duty and do two jobs, one of which being my main job and the other being, you know, promoting myself and drawing constantly every day. And I just couldn't. My depression was also very, very high. And it was kind of awful, but I just kept chugging along because it's what I had to do. Then we moved to the States for a bit. All my supplies came with me. Because I still wanted to do it one day, still wanted to do it. Had a different office job, which was better in some ways, worse than others. I still had no energy to do anything. And then finally we moved back here to Northern Ireland, and I say back, we'd never lived here before. We lived in the UK, but Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland, which is very hard to say, is a whole kind of, it's a little bit different and weird because it's like its own thing. But I was in a position where I could just work on my art. Like, my partner had gotten a job where he could support us both, and I could focus on, at the time, what I wanted to do, which was make comics, because I used to do comics, like web comics, back in the day, I'm gonna date myself, but early 2000s, when I was at university, I did web comics. Don't look them up. They do still exist, but I'm not telling you where they are because they're embarrassing. But I wanted to write a graphic novel, basically, or like a serialized comic, and I was gonna finish chapters, get it up online. I do have one sort of 24 to 30 page chapter. I can't remember It's under 30 pages, I think, but it's fully drawn, it's fully inked, like digitally inked, laid out. Like I had flat colors on, I think, most of it, if not all of it. And I just proceeded to have a nervous breakdown. Because, sorry, this is a very long story. And I'm just gonna cut these ties while I tell it. So I was just having a very hard time focusing on doing the comic. It was just very difficult for me, very hard for me to do, because like I was second guessing myself the whole time, and you know, all those years working in an office kind of like also had taken its toll. And I had injured myself. Like I have a repetitive strain injury in my hand, which is around here, and in my wrist a bit. That's still getting investigated. It flares up every once in a while, but not nearly as bad as back then, which was like I couldn't do anything. It was in so much pain because I was pushing myself too hard, but at the same time, I wasn't doing enough. And eventually, I just broke. And I think it was the culmination of years and years and years of pressure and of stress and of just trying to make everything work, and it just stopped working. It just didn't, and I couldn't take it anymore. And so yeah, it was to the point where I was worried they were gonna put me in, like I was gonna have to go into hospital. Thankfully I didn't. But it was not good. And what came out of that is that I found out I was autistic because I was suffering from severe burnout. Although I didn't find that out until later, because the autism was brought up by the psychiatrist I saw. And it fits everything. Like, it absolutely fits. I am still waiting several years later to get an official diagnosis, because the waiting list is years and years and years long. And it's like, you know, at my age, what are you gonna do? There's no actual help. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic again. So I have this breakdown, which I later find out is autistic burnout, which can last for years, like severe autistic burnout, which is how a lot of adults get diagnosed, actually, which is a whole other problem. Anyway, I was in a bad way, and I had been watching YouTube. You know, I'd obviously been watching more and more doll customizing videos, because it was chill videos. I liked seeing people create, and I liked relaxing with it, you know. They're comfort videos. Like, I honestly go back and rewatch a lot of everyone's videos, partially sometimes to see different techniques that people use, but also because I just like watching them. But I decided, and this was in February of 2019, that for my birthday, which was also in February, that I was finally going to customize a doll. And I was going to try customizing for a while. And because I was taking a break from everything else, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So, where is this tied down? There we go. So I started customizing. I decided what I wanted to do. I made an Instagram account, but I did that later. And I chose something fairly simple. Like, I love Animal Crossing, so I decided I had this like blank Dracular that was already blank. I didn't have to do much else with it. So I decided to make Chrissy because she was a fairly simple character that I could pull, you know, get some stuff from charity shops and I could work it out. And that's what I did. She's not very good. She's still on my Instagram though. She's like my very first post. I made my Instagram I think a couple of months later. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I did it again. And that was Muffy. And it was like leaps and bounds better because I actually knew what I was doing. And she's still one of my favorite dolls to this day, despite being my second doll I've ever made. And then I just kept going. And I knew eventually that I wanted to make YouTube videos because I enjoy them. And you know, it was a little intimidating to figure out how to edit and recording myself, although I've recorded myself before. So I'm used to hearing my voice, but it's still it's still difficult sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I ended up customizing, is that I just wanted to do it for 4 years. After being interested in it for a while, even before actual dolls, like My Little Pony. And then, yeah, I just had a nervous breakdown and was in a position where I could do it. And I know I'm incredibly lucky in that regard because, like, I don't have a job. And frankly, like, other than this is my job. I joke that it's my job I don't get paid at. Although now I am starting to earn money from advertising revenue. So thank all of you who have watched all my videos and who have subscribed and everything. I probably won't see that money for a while because it has to hit a cap before I get any of it. But yeah, so I will get it soon. And it's not much at all. It's not very much, but it's something, and that makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I don't have like a normal job, and I haven't had one for a while. And frankly, at this point, I don't think I could handle one mentally because I am just like, it sounds like I'm trying to fob you all off, but it's just I was so broken. I was so broken. And I still am. Like, a lot of my, like, I get sensory overload a lot more easily now. I don't know. It's hard to talk about. I think that's a conversation for another day, though, is like, what are the signs of autism that you now realize were signs that you had rather than just you being bad at life? And that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I took a meandering route to customizing, and that's fine. And again, I'm in a very lucky position that, like, I can just focus on this. And I think that if I had another full-time job, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing anything. I would be doing that job. And that's it. That's depressing. Anyway. So here we've got Delilah. Got her out of the box. Oh, she's got her hand rubber banded to her face. Okay. I'm going to leave her glasses on though. They're super cute. Look at her. Oop. She's got some plastic here. Let's get that off. You know what? Let's just, there we go. Her hair is really gelled, but it's not too bad. Oh, she's really cute though. Little bumblebee earrings. Ooh. I think it's just because of the gel in the box hair, but she's a little bald. But I think brushing that out, it'll definitely cover that up. She's got her little daisies. That off of there. And her little boots. Okay, there's boots. And her second outfit, which I will get her into shortly. Those little daisy shoes, which are adorable. It's such a pretty little bracelet as well. Look at that. Like, I kind of can't get over how pretty she is. Like, I'm probably not gonna customize her, at least not right away. Because sometimes it's nice to just put the dolls out and let them live on the shelf for a while. And she is super pretty. I will take some photos at the end, and I will put those there. I think I'll be doing a proper intro, outro for this video. So, yeah, like normal with my little doll me. Another question. Sorry that was like a really long, rambly one, which is probably why I'm not going to have time to answer many of them. Let's see, what else do I have? I have, what is your art background? That one will be interesting. So, I will go ahead and, I think, actually, let's get our glasses off while I talk about that. So, like a lot of artists, I think, a lot of you talk to a lot of people who are artists and they'll say, oh, I've been drawing since I could hold a crayon. And for me, it is no different. I have been drawing for as long as I can remember and meticulously organizing my crayons and markers and things. Is that looped in there? That's looped in there. Okay. Yeah. But I did, I took art classes in high school as well, but I was drawing a lot growing up. Okay, we're gonna cut this rubber band because this is. There we go. Let's get the rest of it out. All right. So yeah, did art classes in high school. I did go to university, and I started university when I was only 17. And I wanted to major in art, my parents were like, if you major in art, you should major in graphic design because that's where you'll make money. And of course, I listened to them. I wanted to major in illustration, but we only had an illustration class that was part of the graphic design degree. And yeah, I didn't know what else to do, so that's what I did. However, I did figure out that that's much too stressful of a field for me. I have a lot of useful skills from it, though. Like, you can see her freckles. That's so cute. Like, I can see what comes of it mostly is that I can see when design is bad or when things are poorly designed. And I know what tweaks to make, so I'm good to bounce ideas off of, but I'm not good, I think, at... Okay, that's wrong. I'm okay at design. It's just that it's not... I can iterate. I'm good at iterating, if that makes sense. I can take something and tweak it and make it better. But creating something from whole cloth, in terms of like layout and stuff, is a bit more difficult. So yeah. And the actual environment of graphic design was just every which way it was presented to me was just, you're gonna be stressed out 24/7. And from the few freelance jobs that I have done or had done like years and years and years ago, yeah, it was stressful. And that's not to say like every job's stressful, but you know, it's being beholden to a client in that way. Like, I would compare it to doing commissions, but even then you generally get a bit more freedom with illustration commissions than you do with like design stuff. So yeah. I also worked as a caricature artist at a zoo, and that was fun. It was for like a year. Then I got an office job and I just sort of drew stuff in my spare time when I had the energy to. And, you know, over time I got less and less energy to do that. So yeah, you know, I would draw occasionally. I had an Etsy shop for a while. I had some science themed Valentines that got fairly popular, and that sort of like, I got a nice influx of money for a few years. Like every once in a while, like not every once in a while, like I would, like around Valentine's Day and leading up to, but I've since taken that off the market because it just wasn't pulling in enough in Etsy shenanigans. I don't know. And they were just so old. Like, it was 10 years old at that point, and I didn't want to look at the art anymore. And I've done illustration commissions for people as well. That was one of the things I was doing in between working on my comic stuff, was doing that, and I was taking life drawing classes just to get back up on that. But yeah, and then I started doing dolls, and I have not looked back, apparently. So all right, so got her here. Let's take her outfit apart and get her second outfit on. And while I do that, this is like the longest unboxing ever. Oh my god, I've been filming for a very long time. Right. Oh, I don't think I've been saying who has been asking the questions. That last one was Skipperoni on YouTube. How did I get into doll customizing was Dolly Anna on YouTube, I believe, as well. So there we go. Do I have a pet? And if so, would I make one for my mini-me doll? And that is Dolly B on Instagram. I have 2 cats. You may have heard Dee Dee Cat on one or more of my previous voiceovers. I'm pretty sure she gets noisy sometimes when I record. Thankfully right now she is just sleeping. I also have Kira. I'll put a photo up of them so you guys can see them. Kira is Dee Dee's mother. We got them from a shelter like I think almost 4 years ago. And they were like 4 and 5 then, so I think they're like 8 and 9 now. They had been in the shelter like 6 months when we got them, but they are really sweet, beautiful little babies. They are my human children, as I like to joke. I forgot that she had this like entire other outfit underneath this dress. And yeah, they're my sweet babies. Hold on. This just goes to show that I find it really hard to do 2 things at once. All right. Oh, there's a stay in there. Okay, that would explain. There we go. All right. There's her little dress up close. But yes, I love my cats. They are great. I think my mental health has improved a bit with them around. Like, it did help. And what was I gonna say? I have thought about making them into dolls, not for my mini-me, but like as dolls. But I'm not sure if I would. I'd have to really be in the mood for it. There we go. Okay. Let's see, what else? The easiest question. Angelina Davis on YouTube asked, can you make a vampire doll? And I would answer, yes. Yes, I can. I have wanted to do one for a while now. It's just I gotta get around to doing it. And I try to be faster, but I can really only do one-ish doll a month, one doll every 3 weeks, that sort of thing, because like it's not just making the doll, it's also editing the video and that sort of thing. But I have wanted to make one, and I know my main idea is to do like a gothic Lolita vampire, but I know Jackie's done one already. Jackie O did one, I think, a couple of years ago. I looked it up. And that doll is stunning, by the way. Go watch that video. I'd want to do more of a black and white sort of with the big bonnet and everything. or do it in the style of Yo Monochrome on Instagram, who I think did a bunch of illustrations for Gothic Lolita Bible back in the day. They actually have like a pull-up inspired by their artwork right now that's released, and I really want it so bad, but like, money. Like, it's so pretty, but I've always wanted to do a doll inspired by their artwork. So that would be one thing. The other idea I have would be to make a Rococo themed vampire, which I think would be really fun with that clothing style. Like, they, you know, just very over the top. And gosh, why are there so many plastic things in here? Anyway, I think that would be really pretty and an interesting take on it. Although I'm sure, you know, someone else has done it already, because like everybody's done everything already. There we go. Little plastic bodies always weird me out. Let's get her jeans on. But yeah, I have, like I said, I wanted to do a vampire doll for a while. It's just figuring out when to do it, because I have so many projects that I want to do and so many dolls that I want to customize, but I can only do so much at a time. And these are snug. God, these almost don't want to fit. Ooh, real pockets. Do you like real pockets? There we go. Okay. Look, but there's a little bee. The embroidery goes all the way around. That is impressive. I don't know why. Is that a thing? Like, I remember seeing this on reviews of her before, but is this like a thing in fashion that I just have never noticed? I don't know. I don't know why they're cut that way. It's really weird. Let's see if there's any more questions that I want to answer. Right. I think the last one is from a man called Rose on Instagram, which was, only if you're comfortable sharing, but would you mind expanding on your gender identity / discovery? And I can do that, and I will do it very quickly. I grew up not knowing non-binary was a thing. I didn't know there was another option. And I thought I was just weird. And, you know, often wish that I could just switch back and forth, because that would be fun. And, you know, I never felt any sort of connection to which side is the left and which one is the right? Sorry. I think it's that way. Okay. Never really identified with the word woman at all. Like, I thought I would grow into it, because I thought, well, maybe it's just because I'm not, but like that's part of being an adult, is getting used to being referred to as that. And it's like, no, I just never was one. And at some point I had heard the term genderqueer, and I looked it up, and I was like, huh. And then I let it go, and I went and did other stuff in my life, and then I kept coming back to it, and then I found out about the term non-binary, and then I just kind of went, huh, it was like a slow dawning realization, really. And then I actually sort of accepted it and came out to my partner anyway, and a few people I knew back in, I want to say 2016. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2016. Yeah, I just, you know, I just kind of, I use non-binary as an umbrella. Like, there is some fluidity there, but I do have, I do experience some gender dysphoria, but thankfully not a lot. So mostly for transitioning for me, it's just social. So I guess I'm lucky in that way. I do wish I looked a bit more androgynous, but it's okay. Like, non-binary people don't owe anyone androgyny, but at the same time, it's kind of, it's rough to wish that you looked way more androgynous than you possibly can, and that's okay. But yeah, that's about it. It's just, I didn't know it was a thing, and then I knew it was a thing, and I went, huh, and it just sort of sat there in my brain and percolated, and then eventually, the little egg cracked, and I was there. And being myself, as I like to put it, a genderless blob, not unlike a Ditto, the Pokemon. So a non-binary Ditto is a non-binary icon. You can't change my mind. Anyway, I think we've got this full outfit on now, and she is, again, absolutely stinking cute. Like, the jeans are great. I still don't understand that now. Like, I would just have it cut one length all around, but the shoes are adorable. Like, she's adorable, top's adorable. Like, I don't know what outfit I'll display her in. Probably this one. Just because I really like the dress. But I like these pieces as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so this has been a really long time. I've been rambling for nearly an hour now. I don't know how much I'm going to be cutting this down, but it's going to be fairly rambly. And I hope that's okay. Let me know if you're interested in rambly content. If not, that is totally fine. If so, do you think I should stream sometime? Like, I've thought about it, and I don't know what I would do. Maybe play games or something, I don't know. But let me know if you like this more casual atmosphere, and you don't mind me saying and a lot and very long pauses, because I cut out a lot when I do more of my tight editing. Yeah, so I'll insert some photos after this of Delilah in both outfits so you can see it a little more easily than just being on the table. And I will see y'all next week.
So what do you think of Delilah? I think she's super cute. She will definitely remain on my shelf uncustomized for a while just because she's so pretty. What's your favorite doll from the Series 4 Rainbow High release? Yeah, I like Leela, I like Mina a lot. I think those three with Delilah were probably my favorites out of the group. Although they're all good, to be honest. what new dolls are you looking forward to in the coming months? For me, definitely Monster High G3 is right up there. I am so excited. I'm so pumped. I think they're all super cute, so I'm really excited to get them, to customize them, and to just have them on my shelf because they're cute. I'm also looking forward to the Royal 3 coming out from Rainbow High, mainly pretty much only because of Tessa Park, because of her sporty style. She's the one with the ponytail. I really like her outfit pieces a lot, so I do definitely want to pick her up. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and click the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. You can find links to all my socials down in the description box below. I am most active on Instagram, usually on Instagram stories, so if you want to see me farting around over there, great. And if you really love what I do and you want to buy me a coffee, a link to my Ko-fi tip jar will be down there too. And until next time, which will be very, very soon indeed, bye!